Hello and welcome to our next session in SAP training. So today we'll be starting our next topic, master data in SAP So let us start this topic as a master data. So the topics that we are going to cover today, they are what are the types of user we have in SAP, types of SAP data, significance of master data, how we can create vendor master data, how we can copy vendor master data, material master data, entry aids for material master, and collective entry for storage location. Okay, so let us start with our first part, which is types of users in SAP. Okay, so before we start that, I just want to give you a quick overview about the types of user we have in SAP. So basically, types of users in SAP. Okay, so basically we have two types of user. Okay, so one is end users. Okay, end users. Okay, I'm not talking about master data, I'm just talking about general users in SAP. Okay, end users. Okay, so who are end users? So end users are the people who are using the SAP system in a company, in a business, on their day-to-day activities. Okay, for example, a person working in the department, in the purchasing department, they creating purchase orders, receiving the orders, maybe someone in the accounting department creating the invoices, someone in the sales department creating the sales order, someone in the production department creating the production order. Okay, so they are the end users who just using the end users. Okay, and second type of user we have is then SAP consultants. Okay, which we are studying here, how to become a SAP consultant. Basically, what are the things we need to learn about customizing and everything. Okay, so SAP consultant, basically they customizing the system as per the business needs. Okay, and the business have the end users. Okay, for example, if I give you a general example, you think about, say, Facebook. Okay, so Facebook, most of us have an account in the Facebook. Okay, so we are the end users of Facebook, but behind the screen, in the somewhere in the Facebook head office, they have consultant. Okay, they have consultant working there or programmer working there. Okay, who are making the screen chat system. Okay, you can see your profile picture on the left top right hand side. You can see the photos, videos on other screen. So who are creating those screens or those setups? Okay, consultant, and we are the end user. We're just using them and they customizing them. Okay, so this is what we're learning, that to the activities or the how to customize the system from point of view. Okay, we can also divide the types of user in three different parts actually. Another person you can add here is what we call it super user. Super, or they also called power users. Okay, so super users are people who are having more knowledge than end user and less than knowledge than consultants. Okay, so basically you can say that they know the system very well, okay, but not as good as SAP consultant. Okay, so they are basically good for, you can say, first level of support. Okay, first level support. Okay, but whereas SAP consultant, they can look after first, second, and third level of support. Okay, so that's your types of user. Now let's move forward. Now we'll talk about types of data in SAP. Okay, types of data in SAP. So SAP data can be divided into three different types. Okay, first type is your master data. Okay, what is master data? Master data is like vendor. We create a vendor, we create a material, we create a customer. Okay, so these are, or we can create a pricing record. Okay, so these are the master data. Okay, so master data will be used in the transaction data. Okay, so the first type is the master data. Second type is the transactional data. Like we're creating a purchase order, maybe sales order, invoice, production order. Okay, so they are transaction data. Okay, where we're creating a transaction. Okay, and third type of data in SAP is your customizing data. Okay, customizing data. So basically in this topic, what we're learning here is master data, how we can set up SAP master data in the SAP system. Okay, and what types of master data, that we'll see in a minute. And other thing is basically at what we learning in this training is the customizing. Okay, but I cannot show you the customizing from day one. Okay, to learn customizing, first we need to understand how the end users are using the system. Or basically what end users are doing. They're creating master data, they're creating transaction data. So first we need to understand that how end users are using the system, and also we need to understand what are the different business scenarios and functionalities provided in the standard SAP MM system. Once we learn that, okay, then we'll move on to the customizing data. Okay, how to customize the system. Okay, so first 20% or 25% of the training is all about master data and transaction data learning. Then last 75% we'll be starting customizing. Okay, so let's start our master data topic. So what is the significance of master data? Okay, why we need master? So first question, before we start learning, we need to understand why we need master data. Okay, so basically we need master data so that whenever you create a transaction, you don't need to enter the main data again and again. That means, for example, whenever you create a purchase order, you just enter the vendor number. System can pull out the information from the vendor master record. So let's see this one practically. Okay, so what I will do, I just want to show you that why we need master data. Okay, why we need master data. So let me show you why we need master data. So let me log into SAP system. So for example, when like in the previous topic, I created a purchase order. So I will do the same thing. If I create a purchase order using the transaction ME21N. Okay, so in the purchase order screen here, what we do is we enter vendor number. So I will enter the vendor number, say 100502. I used this number before, so let's use this number. So we just enter the number here and press enter. Let me press enter. So, and it's asking for the purchase organization. Let me enter the purchase organization 1000. Always use 1000 for now. Use any purchasing group. Just say 000 and company code 1000. Okay, press enter again. Now I just entered the vendor number and this purchase order data. Okay, so if I go through the different tabs, say first tab, here you can see payment terms, where this payment term is coming from. Okay, and where this is Incoterms is coming from. Okay, where this is currency, the default currency for the customer is coming from. They coming from the vendor master data. Okay, that means these data are stored in this vendor number 100502. Okay, if I go to the other tab, say address, that's the address of the vendor. Where this address is coming from? From that vendor master data. Okay, so that's why we need master data. Okay, another example, if I enter the material here, say ABC 123 material I will be using, and quantity is say 100, enter. It's asking me to enter a plant and price. Let me enter any plant, any price, enter. Okay, so I entered this material number. Okay, and here if I go to the last this little tab here, expand item details, click on that, and here if I go to the material data, okay, you can see it's showing you the material group. Okay, that's the material group. Okay, where it's coming from? That is stored in this vendor master ABC123 material. So that's these data are stored in the vendor master, and whenever you create a transaction, the data will be pulled. So if I go to the next step, you can see this, that's a weight of the material. Okay, if I say go to, if we see the other tabs, see the planned delivery time. Okay, planned date, it will take 12 days to procure this material. Okay, where it's coming from? It's also coming from the material master. Okay, so that means the data is stored in the material master, and whenever you create a transaction, data will be pulled. Okay, if you do not have that data maintained in the material master, so every time you create a transaction, you need to fill all this data manually. Okay, which is a waste of time. So that's why we need the master data. That's why we need master data. Okay, so now you understand the significance of master data, or why we need master data. Okay, so now we'll start the main learning about master data. So first of all, we'll start with how we can, what is vendor master data and how we can create a vendor master in SAP. Okay, so vendor master data is basically has three different types of views. Okay, three different types of view. So first view, I will show you in a minute how to create a vendor master, but first view is your general data. Okay, that's a general data. You can see here general data. So in general data, what we enter is information like what is the address of the vendor, vendor bank details, okay, vendor phone number, their email address, their fax number. So that of our generic data is entered in the general data. Okay, then second type of data we have is company code data. Okay, where we enter finance related data. Okay, like who is the account person at the customer side. Okay, what is the reconciliation account number of that company. So anything related to the finance side of SAP that is required from that vendor, we stored in the company code data area. Okay, and the third type is purchasing org data. Okay, so where we enter mainly the purchasing related data, like what is the currency of the vendor, partner function, and all that we'll see in a minute. Okay, so let's see how we can create a vendor master. So the transaction code to create a vendor master is XK01 to create it, XK02 to change it, or if you want to display, XK03. So let's see how we can create a vendor master data. So you can either use a menu. If I go to the SAP menu, say logistics, material management, purchasing, master data, vendor, purchasing, and here we use the central XK01. Okay, double click on this transaction, or as I've shown you before, you can create a folder or a favorite transaction here. If I create a folder, say insert folder, I will call the folder as vendor, and here under this folder I will enter some, right click, I will insert transaction, say XK01, and I will also enter one more transaction here, XK02. Okay, so let's create you can move up and down. Let me move this one up. Okay, so let's create a vendor. So double click on this XK01, or you can, as I shown you before, XK01 you can type here on the top, and here leave the vendor number blank. Company code use 1000 for now. Purchasing org also use 1000, and account group. Okay, account group, if I open the account group, so here we have different types of account group, and I will come back in a minute and tell you about the meaning of account group. But for now, just use KRED. That's the account group. Okay, and press enter. Here give a name for the vendor, whatever vendor name you want to call it. So I'll say vendor name is XYZ vendor limited, for example. Okay, search term, how you want to search for it. So you can say, okay, search term is XYZ, just XYZ. Here you can enter the address. I will say country, enter all the address. Here you can enter the street, ABC street. Sorry, here you need to enter the suburb, or here you need to enter the street. Here the number, say 120 or something, and postal code, say 3000. Okay, and we'll be just filling all the important fields. In the phone number, you can enter the phone number of the vendor, fax number. You can enter here like that. Okay, and if I go to now, once you're done with this screen, just press enter, or you can click on this little button, next screen. Okay, same thing. Even if I click on this button or press enter, it will go to the next screen. Okay, so here the registration number, like the company registration number, if you know the registration number, just enter the registration number, press enter again. Okay, it doesn't like this, just leave it blank for now. Here you can enter the bank details. Okay, or the bank details if you have. If you don't have bank details, just leave it for now. Here enter the contact person. Who is the contact person at the customer side, at the vendor side? Okay, so I can say, okay, contact person will be, say, John Smith. Okay, go to the next screen. Here you need to enter the reconciliation account. Okay, reconciliation account. So just pick any account for now. So that's I'll come back to a reconciliation account again in a minute. What is the use? So just pick any account, and also you need to enter any field with this tick box. It is a mandatory field. Even if I press enter, try to go to the next screen, it will show me error to enter the data in this field. Okay, cash management group. Just pick one entry here. It's a domestic vendor or a foreign vendor. Just say domestic. Press enter, go to next screen. Payment terms, what are the payment terms of the customer? Okay, so in the drop down you can pick some payment terms, say 14 days is the payment terms. Press enter again, go to the next screen, and here you can mention that who is the vendor at the who is the clerk at the vendor side, okay, or the account person. Okay, so here I can say, okay, just put any name. So you can say, I'll put my name. So okay, so this is the vendor here, and the phone number of the vendor, enter the phone number and fax number, and also you can enter the email here. Okay, so I can say, okay, I will enter my email. That's the email. Okay, press enter again. Order currency, what is the order currency? Here you can select from the drop down the order currency. Say, I'll say AUD, Australian dollar. Okay, what is the payment terms? So payment terms will be same, 002. Incoterms. So pick one Incoterm, say how they want, how they will be delivering. Okay, cost and freight, insure freight free. So just pick one, COD, or maybe means cash on delivery. Press enter. So in the next screen, asking to enter something, just enter COD, cash on delivery. Just any text. Press enter. And here it's showing you the partner function. I'll come back to the partner function in a minute. Okay, press enter again. Now it's done. It's asking you to save it or not. I'll say yes, save it. So when you save it, it will give you a number. At the bottom of the screen, you can see a number. Okay, so you see 100510 is the number. Okay, you can click on this message. It will open a screen for you, and that's a number. Okay, so we created a vendor here. Vendor number 105 times. Okay, so our vendor is ready. Okay, now if you want to search for this vendor, okay, if you want to call this vendor and you do not remember the number, okay, so what do? You just need to remember the vendor name. If you double click on the change vendor and here it remember the last number, just remove it and say I do not remember the number. Okay, so what I can do, I can click on the search button here, and in the next screen I can enter the vendor name. Okay, so I can say, okay, it was XYZ vendor limited. Either you can enter the full name or just say XYZ vendor star. That means give me all the vendor with this name, starting name XYZ vendor. Press enter. So there is only one, it will show you that one. So double click on that and that's a vendor. Okay. Now, as I was showing you before, that vendor has three area. Okay, vendor master three area: general data, company code data, purchasing data. Okay, so here you can see the same thing, that when you're trying to change a customer or call a customer, you can see general data, company code data, purchasing data. Okay, if I select the checkbox here that I only want to see general data, then in the next screen, system will only show you the general data and not the other data. Okay, let me show you. Press enter. So showing the first screen where we maintain the name and phone number. Next screen, next, and next, and there will be the last one, I guess. Yes. Okay, so it's only showing the general data. Okay, and if you select everything, or you can click on this little button on the top to select all. If I select all, now it will show me all the data. So you can see data is stored in the general data. General data is your address data. Company code data has the financial information like account group and everything. Reconciliation account number. And purchasing code data has a purchasing information. Okay, so if I go to next screen now, I selected everything, enter, 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 enter. So these first four screen are your, so basically if I go back, the first four screen are your general data, next three screen are your company code data, last two screen are your purchasing data. Okay, so that's the first screen here, first, second, third, fourth. Then here we have the company code data. Okay, so here you can see the reconciliation account, cash management group, enter, second screen, third screen. Okay, that's your three screen for the company code data, and last two screen here for the purchasing data. Okay, so where you have the purchasing information like order currency, terms of payment, Incoterms, and there are some others as well, which we'll study as we go further. And press enter. There is another screen for purchasing where we have the partner function. Okay, so whatever changes you want to make, you can make the changes here or change the name of the vendor. Say for example, I go to the main first screen. Say if you want to change here, I can put a dot here and save it. So your vendor master is saved. Okay, so that's how we can create a vendor master. Okay, now we'll talk about so basically you have seen the transaction code is XK01. Okay, now I will tell you about the org levels. Okay, so what org level means is, as I said just now, that data is stored in the three different areas. Okay, general data, purchasing data, accounting data. Okay, now for example, so let me write down here that vendor master data. Okay, so as I said, you have the general data, then you have the company code data, and third you have the purchasing data. Okay, so for example, if in a company, okay, maybe in one is a small company, only one person will be maintaining all these three data like I did. Okay, so one person maintaining. But if you think about a big company, okay, where one person is not supposed to have the authorization to create all the data. That means in that company, what will happen is, if I'm a purchasing officer in a big company and I can only create the general data for a new vendor and the purchasing data, okay, I should not be maintaining company code data, okay, because company code data is something financial. Okay, this is fine, this is okay, this is purchasing related. Okay, and the third one is also purchasing related. Okay, so that means any data linked to financial or finance stuff should be maintained by the finance people only, or people working in the accounts department. Okay, so as a purchasing officer, I can maintain the general data, I can maintain the purchasing data, but not this data. Okay, so to do that, we have a transaction called MK01. Okay, so if you want to see the transaction, so the only difference here is in the menu bar you can see under purchasing you have, under vendor you have purchasing and central. If I open purchasing, MK01, if I open central, you have XK01. We just use XK01. Okay, if I double click on XK01, you can maintain all the data, all three data. However, and also you can see here I'm entering, when I want to create a new vendor, I need to enter the company code and purchasing org, right? Two things, company code and purchasing org. However, in this case, MK01, here you cannot see the company code tab here. That means we're not maintaining, using this transaction, I cannot maintain the financial data, which is the company code data. Okay, but I can maintain the general data, I can maintain the purchasing data. Okay, so here we are, I will go through MK01. And or the other thing is, if you go to the change mode, if you go to the change, if you want to change a vendor, again you cannot change anything related to the company code. Okay, you can change number 1, you can change number 3, but not number 2. Okay, so if I go to MK02, I will call the same customer, that's the one we just created. Here you can see, you cannot see the company code data. Okay, here you have only general data, you have only purchasing order data, no company code data. That means using this transaction, I can only access general data, see general data, and this is the purchasing data. There is no company code data. Okay, so using this functionality, a business can restrict the user or a purchasing officer to maintain or create only purchasing related data, but not the financial data. Okay, and MK01 is the transition to create, MK02 to change, MK03 to display. Okay, now we'll talk about account group. What is account group? Okay, what is account group? So basically, whenever you create a new vendor, if I go to the transaction again, whenever you create a vendor, here you need to first select account group. Okay, you need to select account group. Okay, now we need to understand what is the use of account group. Okay, what is the use of account group? Okay, so basically account group will, in using account group, I can create different types of vendor. For example, a vendor can be a goods supplier. That means he's only supplying the goods. Okay, I'll talk about this again in the partner function. Or they can be the ordering address, where we're just placing the order. Okay, or it can be only the forwarding agent, it can be the plant only. Okay, so there are different types of vendor. Okay, but in standard system we can just use the one that I used, KRED, just use this one for now. Okay, KRED. Okay, so using the account group, we can create different types of vendor, like as I said, good supplier, invoice presented by, or invoicing party, ordering address, plants, and like that. Okay, so I'll explain in a minute in the partner function. So what these things control basically. Okay, so using a different tab, using a different types of account group, okay, you will see a different number of field selection. Okay, so a lot of things is controlled by the account groups. For example, number interval. For example, when I created this customer here, the number was What was the number? 100510, I guess. Okay. However, that was when I used KRED account group. Okay. If I use a different account group, the number range can be different. So probably this one is assigned. Okay. You use range of this up to 999. Okay. However, if you use a different account group, for example, if you use the other account group, say first account group 001, it might have, or just say good supplier, just a second one, good supplier. Okay, so when you select a good supplier, then the number range may be different. Account group is 0002, okay, which is good supplier. Okay, so in this case you might find a different number. It may be assigned a different number. Say, okay, for you the number range will be, say, starting with 500,000 to 5999, right, like that. So probably you will get a number here, say maybe 500,199 or something. Okay, you might get this number when you create it. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, so this is all controlled from customizing that we'll talk about later on. So that's the thing controlled by the account group, and also it will control the status, okay, of the vendor, like which is a one-time vendor or it's a normal vendor. Again, I'll come back to one-time vendor in a minute. Field selection, like what are the fields, what are the screen you can see. Okay, number range I already said. So type of number assignment and partner schema. So basically what it is, so field selection means, for example, you might see a different screen. Okay, so for example, if I call the old vendor again, so here what screen you can see, it might be different in other. That means the field that you can fill here might be different when you select a different account group. Okay, and other thing that can be controlled by the account group is partner function or partner schema. Here you can see these are the partner function. So here we can see 4. In other one you might see only 1. Okay, I'll create one in a minute and I'll show you. Okay, so these are the things that is controlled by the partner function. Okay, account group. Now we'll talk about one-time vendor. What is one-time vendor? Okay, so one-time vendor is, for example, I need to make a purchase from a vendor, but it will be only a one-off purchase. I know that I'm going to purchase something from a new vendor, and this is only first time we're going to purchase from this vendor, and I also know that this is the last time also we're going to purchase from this vendor. That is a one-off purchase only. We're not going to purchase from this vendor at all in the future. I know that. Okay, it can be we're purchasing maybe stationery, or maybe we called a plumber, I don't know, electrician or someone. Okay, so in this case what we do is we create a common vendor which is called one-time vendor. That means today one-time vendor. Okay, so say vendor number is say 100,999 for example. Okay, so if today I need to call a say electrician to fix something, and I know it is a one-off for any reason, then I can use this number to create a purchase order for this electrician. Tomorrow if I need to again call a, say I need to order stationery, okay, again I can use the same number. Okay, later on I want to call a say plumber in the company. Okay, then again I can use the same vendor number. That means one-off vendor is like we created a one standard number that can be used to make any one-off purchase. Okay, so I will show you here how to create a one-off vendor. Okay, so if you want to create a one-time vendor, so what we do is xk01. Okay, and here the account group will be different. Okay, open that, and here you can select this one time vendor. Okay, select that one time vendor. It's CPD. Okay, press enter. Here enter the name of the vendors, just call it one time vendor. Okay, just call it one time. Enter any address, doesn't matter, press enter. It's saying that vendor found with the same address, there must be another vendor with the same name. Okay, so what I'll do, I will call it one time vendor 1. Okay, press enter. Next screen. Next screen, you can see because I selected a different vendor, you can see the screen is different. The fields that you can see are much less than what we have seen earlier. Okay, enter reconciliation account number we need to give. Again, this you can see a lot of fields are still missing. Enter payment terms, select the payment terms, enter order currency is AUD, terms of payment. Okay, enter, and you can see it's also not showing you the partner function here. Okay, so if I save it, it will give me a number, and number is at the bottom you can see 100,511. So 100,511. So that means this is a one-time vendor. So I will show you how we can use a one-time vendor for a one-off purchase from different vendors. Okay, so go back. We'll create a purchase order ME21N, right? So here I will enter this vendor number 100,511. 100,511. Enter. Okay, just use the same sales organization as we used before. Enter. Okay, I will also enter the material number, quantity, and plant. Say we're buying this material, for example. It's asking to missing price here. I'll enter price. Good. Okay, now if I try to save it, before you save it, even you can check if everything is okay or not. You can click on this little button, check. See this one? Click on that, it will check it. Okay, saying that please enter the vendor address. That means address, we all the time we need to enter the address, because a one-time vendor, if I go to the address tab, see this address tab on the header, there's no address here. Why? Because it's a one-time vendor, and every time the system knows that every time the address will be different. Okay, so what we'll do, I can enter the vendor here. I can say okay, I'll say plumbing ABC Limited. Okay, street number, street name, say CCC Street, 100 number, postal code 3000, city, country, phone number, like this. Okay, and now I can save it. If I save it, save, yes. Okay, so that means system is very clever. So whenever you use a one-time vendor to create any order, system knows that it is one time, and every time the vendor address or name will be different, phone number will be different. So it will always leave this screen blank for you, and it will ask you to enter the customer name, address, and phone number. Okay, so that's the case only for one-time vendor. So again, you can use the same vendor for again to make a second purchase from a different vendor. So the reason is we don't need to maintain the master data for a one-off purchase, because maintaining a master data for a one-off purchase will be waste of time. Okay, so just make the purchase, and we know that we're never going to buy from this vendor, or very unlikely we will be buying from this vendor. Okay, so you can see it's created a purchase order number 45000175565. That's the purchase order number. Okay, and if, for example, if I have used a different vendor, say this one, okay, which is not a one-time vendor, okay, you can see system will fill the address here. So now I'm using an old vendor. If I go to the address tab, you can see system has filled the address tab here. Okay, but if you use the one-time vendor, system will leave it blank. See, this is blank. Okay, so that's our one-time vendor. Then we'll talk about the reconciliation account number for a vendor. That means reconciliation account is, so whenever you create a vendor, okay, so let me call a vendor here. See this one, reconciliation account here. Okay, so whenever you maintain a vendor, if I leave it blank, system will give me error. Okay, it will ask me to enter a reconciliation account number. So this is basically provided by the finance department what reconciliation account this vendor belongs to. Okay, and the purpose of this reconciliation account is to whenever we send the invoice, we receive the invoice to the customer or from the customer, or we pay to the vendor. Whenever we receive an invoice from this vendor, or whenever we pay to this vendor, okay, so system knows that to which general ledger account they need to post. Okay, so you know, they are in finance side, there are different types of general ledger account where the posting will happen. So reading this reconciliation account number, system can post to the right general ledger account. So that's why this is important to maintain the reconciliation account number for every vendor. Okay, so there's a reconciliation account number, and the only use is used in the financial side of SAP, where the system will find out the right general ledger account. Next we have is the partner roles. Okay, so let's talk about the partner roles. What is partner roles? So what is partner role? So this vendor we created earlier, if you go to the last tab of this vendor, you can see here we have different types of partner function. Partner role or partner function, same thing. Okay, so first one is saying by default is using ordering address, vendor, invoicing party, goods supplier. Okay, and by default this number will be copied to here. Okay, that means the same vendor number is responsible for ordering address, for vendor, invoicing party, goods supplier. Okay, now what is the use of the partner function that we need to understand? Partner function, or you can call it partner role, same thing. Okay, so partner role is, for example, if you think about if it's a multinational company or a very big company, right, and say the company is in US, okay, the vendor main office is in US. Okay, so you can say the vendor is in US. Okay, and what will happen is they have different plants, different branches all over the world. Okay, so they can say that, okay, you need to order, when you place an order, okay, you need to order to my Canada plant. Okay, so place an order to Canada. Okay, that means ordering address should be Canada. That means when you place an order, do not send me the order, the purchase order, send the order to my Canada branch. Okay, that can be one scenario. Other scenario can be invoicing party. They'll say, okay, send the invoice to my Australian plant. Okay, the plant we have in Australia, send the invoice to that plant, not to me, not to Canada, to Australia. Okay, and good supplier will be, it will say, okay, you will get the supply from my China plant, for example. Okay, so that's a partner role. So that's what I'm saying is ordering address is the plant or the vendor number where we need to place an order. Okay, invoicing party means where we need to send the invoice. Okay, and good supplier means who will send us the goods. It may or it may not be the main vendor. Okay, vendor. Okay, so in this case, it's all same. That means the same vendor is the ordering address, same vendor is the invoicing party, and same vendor is the goods supplier, but it can be different. Okay, it can be different. For example, in say in my scenario, okay, I need there's a different goods supplier. Okay, so I can create a new goods supplier. Okay, so let me create it. Click on this icon to create one more screen of SAP. I'll make it a bit small here. Okay, and I'll go to transaction XK01 to create a new goods supplier. Okay, now question is, how do we create a goods supplier? How do we create a invoicing party? How do we create a ordering address? Okay, so for example, I want to create a goods supplier. Okay, so what I will do, in the account group, I will be selecting goods supplier. See, goods supplier. If I select goods supplier, okay, then press enter. Okay, so goods supplier will be, I'll say, okay, XYZ goods supplier limited, whatever name you want to give. Say XYZ, give it address. Okay, just any address of the street 33 or phone number. Go to next screen. Now you can notice that because we are using a different account group, the screen will be different here. Go to next, next, next. Okay, who is the contact person? Okay, so I can say, okay, Peter is the contact person. Let's go to Smith. Reconciliation account number, and that you can give again. Payment terms, leave it blank. Ordering currency, terms of payment. I will use the same stuff that we used earlier. Here in the last tab, you can see there is, in the other one we had 4 partner function, but here there is nothing. Okay, so because we're using a different account group. Okay, let me save it. So because we're using a different account group number 002, that's why you can see a different screen. Okay, so at the bottom you can see the message. The new number is 100512. So I can use that new goods supplier here. So here I can change it to 2. See that? So now that means the vendor is same, ordering address is same, invoicing party is same, but goods supplier will be different in this case, and I can save it. If I come back again, you will notice that there's a new goods supplier we just created. So same way you can create say ordering address. If you want to create a new ordering address, what you need to do is to, when you create the account group, select the ordering address and create a new number, assign it to ordering address. Okay, so that's a role of partner function. Okay, so that's your partner function. Next, we'll see how we can create a vendor by copying or reference. That means the only purpose is to save some time. So in my company, for example, if we every day we're creating a couple of vendors, okay, so every time we create a vendor, most of the data that is maintained is pretty much same for most of the vendor. Okay, so what we can do is we can copy from the other vendor. I'll show you. So that means whenever you create a vendor, say I'm creating the standard vendor KRED, okay, so you can copy from any vendor. So I can use this vendor, that this is a vendor we created initially, which is a standard vendor using the same account group, and I can use the company code, purchasing organization. So that means what I'm doing is I'm referring to this vendor. That means I'm telling the system to copy the vendor from this one. Okay, press enter. So what system will do? System will not copy the address always. This is what this screen is showing you, that the address data will never be copied, because system is smart enough to know that whenever you do a copy, okay, so address or name of the vendor will always be different. It cannot be same. Okay, so here you can enter the address. So address is not copied, everything else will be copied. So enter the new vendor. So I'll say okay, new vendor 123. Okay, so say new vendor. So just enter the whatever data you need to enter here, and phone number. Okay, yeah, and if I go to the next tab, and next, you can see reconciliation account number is already there. Cash management group is already there. How does the system know? It is copied from the other number. Okay, go next. Payment terms is already there. Next. Order currency, terms of payment, Incoterms is already there. So everything will be copied except the name and address. And you can save it. Okay, so the purpose of referring or copying is basically to save some time. So whenever you create a vendor, copy it from the other one and you will save your time. So that's your creating vendor with reference. Now we'll talk about how to block a or delete a vendor. Okay, that means if we were making a purchase from a vendor and we're not happy with the vendor, maybe they're not very good in supply, or they supply very late, or maybe the goods they're supplying are of very bad quality, could be any reason. Okay, and for that reason what we say is we want to block that vendor. We don't want to make a purchase from this vendor. That means if we do not block it, anyone can place an order with this vendor. So once it is blocked, no one can place an order. Okay, so how to block a vendor? So transaction code is XK05 to block it, XK06 to delete it. Okay, so what is the difference between block and delete? When I say XK05, transaction is to block a vendor, and XK06 is to delete a vendor. So when I say block means it's a temporary block. Okay, temporary block can happen, for example, when the vendor is maybe they are supposed to send us some bad quality of the product. Now we returned it back. Now they're supposed to send it back to us. Okay, now before, and they making some delay in the sending back of the replacement product. Okay, so we can say that okay, because let this vendor to send all our goods first, all the replaced good, then we'll place a order with this vendor. Okay, till then we don't want to give any new order to the vendor. So block will be means a temporary block. It's only temporary block. Okay, delete means permanent delete. No, this vendor is no good at all. We do not want to make any purchase from this vendor at all. Then we'll delete it. Okay, so I'll show you XK05, XK06. Okay, so if I go to XK05, enter vendor number, that's the one we just created, enter again. So here you can block. So see, you can create a posting block or you can create a purchasing block. That means purchasing means you do not want to purchase anything from this vendor. Okay, you're blocking it. Or posting means you don't want to receive anything. Okay, when we're posting some goods, when we receive some goods. Okay, so you don't want to post anything, or you don't want to make any purchase from this vendor. Okay, and here in the drop down you can select a reason as well, why you blocking this vendor. Okay, so I can say okay, there's not very good reason here, so just select any reason, block purchase order, say. Okay, doesn't matter, we can create other reason as well. If I save it, okay, so that vendor number is blocked. So what I will do, I will create a new purchase order for this vendor and let's see what happens. If I enter this vendor here, 13, enter. enter. Can you see an error at the bottom? There's an error at the bottom of this screen. Okay, or if I click on this red button, so it's saying that vendor is blocked. It's a error. That means we cannot make a purchase from this vendor at all unless the block is removed. Okay, so though no one even can accidentally place an order once the block is there. Okay, so that's a block. There's a block. And now we'll talk about delete. When we want to stop the purchasing from this vendor permanently, go to XK06. Enter the vendor number and enter again. Say all area, selected company code. Even you can, when you specify, let me go back. When you specify a company code and purchasing organization, so you can block, what you're doing is basically you blocking a specific purchasing organization. Maybe this vendor exists in this purchasing organization and another purchasing organization. So you can block either this purchasing organization only and the other one will be working, or whatever you put here, it will be blocked. Okay, if I say enter again, so I'll say all area or the selected area. You can select that. Okay, that means if this is maintained in purchasing organization 2000, for example, then here if I select selected purchase organization, that means it's blocked only for this purchasing organization, but it will work for purchasing organization 2000. Okay, if I say all, it's blocked for everything. Okay, and I say so delete. So even when I say delete doesn't mean that we're deleting it permanently from the database. Okay, in actual we do not delete anything. Okay, we mark it for deletion. So here what we're doing is we're not deleting, but it will keep the record at least. Okay, so we only mark for deletion. Okay, that will still save the record, but at the same time we cannot make any purchase. Like I have deleted this, right? Now if I create a new vendor again, a new purchase order again, you will see that error. So there's error here. It's still saying blocked. Even if I remove the block, first let me remove the block. It will say I'm deleted. Save it. So you can see block is removed, but deletion flag is still there. So if I create a new vendor, enter the purchasing organization, everything, you can see a message at the bottom, vendor flagged for deletion. See, there's a message here, vendor is flagged for deletion. Okay, this is a warning here. Okay, that means something wrong in the customizing that we need to fix. This should be an error here. It should be error, not a warning. Okay, so vendor is flagged for deletion. So that's how you can block or delete a vendor. So that's all for the vendor master data. Before you move further, I want you to do assignment first, okay, and do this exercise first on the server so that you can learn properly before you go ahead. So I wish you to create a new vendor, okay, using transaction XK01. So once you created and saved your vendor, then search for the vendor. Okay, if suppose you do not remember the name of the vendor, just try to search for the vendor using the XK02 transaction and look through the different screens and the different partner roles that your vendor is assigned. Okay, then view the same vendor in MK02 transaction, okay, where you can only see selected data, not everything. So what is the difference did you notice? Okay, if you see the same vendor from MK02, so what difference you notice? Just note that. And how would you block a vendor? Okay, so you need to block a vendor. How would you do that? And how can you delete a vendor? Okay, so just do this small exercise before you go ahead. Okay, so that's all about vendor master data. Now we'll start the next topic, which is material master data. What is material master? Again, as I said before earlier, that whenever you create a transactional data like a purchase order, we just enter the material number and system will pull out all the information about your vendor. Here, if I enter ABC123 material, enter a price here, it's asking for a price, and is error here, enter plant, 1000 plant. Okay, so I just enter this material here, but you can see it copied. It knows that that's a text of the description of the material. Its unit of measure is species. If I go to the material data, it's using material group 002, quantity. It's using this and net weight, gross weight, stuff like that. So these data are coming from the master data that is set up in the material master record. Okay, so we'll see now how we can create a material master record. Okay, now material master. Okay, material master has different views. Okay, for example, basic view, material planning, stock view, accounting view, storage view, warehouse view, purchasing view, sales and distribution view, work scheduling view, quality management view, forecasting view, classification view. Okay, so what that means is, let me explain you this one here. Material master data. Okay, so who is using, like in a business, in a typical scenario, who is using the material master? Okay, mainly most of the department using the same material. Okay, if my company is selling laptop and my product code is say ABC123, that means it's a notebook 15-inch. Okay, so what are the different departments who will be using this product data? Okay, so it will be used by sales and distribution, right? By sales department. Okay, so who will be like bringing the order for the sales order? They need to use it. Then probably our material management people. Okay, they need to use it because they need to do the procurement and everything. And maybe that can be used by the production people who are doing the direct production. Okay, it may also be used by the accounting department. Okay, for the costing and everything. Okay, it may also be used by the warehouse management people. It may also be used by for the forecasting, or people who are working in the forecasting department. Okay, and maybe some others. Okay, more. Okay, so you can see one material is used by different people. That means we're not going to create the same material for this department and another with another name for this department, another name with this department. We create one common material for all the department, and this is maintained via a different view. Okay, for the same material you can have sales view, material view, production view, accounting view, warehouse management view, quality management view, forecasting view, everything like that. Okay, so this is what this screen is showing you here is that there are different types of views maintained in a material master record. Okay, basic view, material management view, sales and distribution view, purchasing view, and everything. So let me show you. So let me show you first how we can create a material master record. Okay, so transaction code is MM01 to create a master record. MM01 to create, and MM02 to change, and MM03 to display. Okay, so you can use a menu path here, or you can directly create a material. Here it is, material master, material, create mm01. Okay, mm01, or you can directly create a favorite here, and I will add a favorite here. You can create a folder, or I will directly add mm01 here. Okay, or you can directly type on the top mm01, enter. Okay, so that's the first screen. So here we'll create a new material. Okay, so first give the name of the material, whatever name you want to create. Okay, so I'll say I'm creating a new material called notebook 1. Okay, notebook 1, and here first select the industry sector. Okay, I'll come back to later on what is this, the meaning of industry sector. For now I'll say mechanical engineering. Material type. Okay, again I will come back to later on what is the material type, but briefly the material type is like what type of product it is. Okay, like it can be a finished good, it can be a semi-finished good, it can be a raw material, it can be a packaging material, it can be a trading goods. Okay, there are different types of material, raw type. Okay, so I can say, okay, this is a finished good, finished product, finished product. Okay, and once you've done this one, then press enter. And in the next screen, you can select the views that you want to create. Okay, they are my default view. I'll show you later on how you can create the default view. So whatever view you want to create, you can select that, or the one that I selected here, they are my default. I can unselect them, or I can select some more. For example, I can unselect work scheduling. Okay, so whatever views, because I said in a company, different people are using the same material, so you can maintain those views, whatever views you require. Okay, so for now I'm selecting, if you're creating a new material, for now just select basic data. Okay, I can unselect that. Basic data, sales view, 3 of the sales view, also select purchasing view, MRP view, and then scroll down, then select accounting view and costing view. Okay, just select these view for now. Okay, and tick. Select the plant, so you can select a plant from here. Plant, say always use 1000 for the training purpose. Storage location always use 001, sales organization 1000, and distribution channel 10. Okay, always use this combination because they are properly set up in the customizing for us. And once you're done, say tick. Now here, enter the description. In the first screen, what you're doing is you're entering the description. Okay, so I can say, okay, this is a notebook 1, say 14 inch. Okay, what is the base unit of measure? You can click on this search, this button here, to see the drop down, or you can type it manually here as well. So here you can say each or pieces or each, same thing. What is the material group? You can select a group from here. Group will be, say, electronics. Okay, once you're done with that, so we'll only enter the important fields. So gross weight is, say, 2 kg, net weight is 2 kg, volume is, say, let's enter these two. Back. Okay, then press enter or go to the next tab. See the next tab or press enter. Right now I'm on the basic tab 1. If I press enter, I will go to basic tab 2. Press enter here, I'm on the basic tab 2. Okay, basic data 2. Then go to the next tab, which is sales organization 1. Enter the sales organization data here. Okay, minimum order quantity maybe, say, 50 is the minimum order quantity. Minimum delivery quantity will be the 20. Okay, and here you need to enter the text output. Okay, just select for Germany, and we have Great Britain here, so it's a full tax. From the sales point of view, what is the tax liability? Then go to the next tab. Okay, everything is good here. Next, press enter. Next tab here. So any field you can see here with these tick boxes, they are mandatory. Okay, even if I press enter, go to the next tab, it will show me error. Okay, so it's asking me to fill the data here. Transportation group, I will enter say on pallets. Loading group, I will say train or forklift. Press enter. Now I'm on the purchasing view. Okay, so just use a purchasing value key here. We'll explain that later on. Press enter. Here select the MRP type. What is MRP type? So that's the MRP related data that we'll study later on in the coming chapter about what is MRP. So just say PD, which is MRP. Press enter. MRP controller is mandatory. We need to enter MRP controller. So just pick any number here. Press enter. Lot size is also mandatory. Select a lot size. Say monthly lot size. Then procurement will be, what will the procurement? It will be external procurement or in-house production or both. Okay, so you can say both or you can say external. Press enter. Plan delivery time, if it is external, then how many days it will take to for the purchasing. Then it will say 10 days is the delivery time. Okay, press enter. Schedule margin key is mandatory. Just select something here. Press enter again. I'm on the third tab, MRP 3. Press enter again. I'm on MRP 4. Press enter again. I'm on accounting. Enter. If there's any mandatory field, you can select it. Says valuation class. I can select a valuation class. Is finished product. Press enter. Keep pressing enter. And if there's a mandatory field, it will ask you. So it's asking to save the material. I'll say yes. And the material is saved. So notebook 1 is saved. Okay, so you can go and see this material again. If I go to the other transaction MM02, okay, so you can go to MM02 transaction to see this material. Notebook 1, enter. So again for you, views will be blank here, something like this. So just select the same view, basic, sales, purchasing, MRP, accounting, and costing. Okay, select the same plant, store location, sales organization, and distribution channel, and tick. So I'm into the material change mode. I can change something. I can put a dot here. I can make any changes that I can see here. And if you click, you can see the different tabs here: basic data 1, basic data 2, sales organization 2, and for the rest of the tab, you can either click on this button to go to the next tab, or you can click on this little icon on the corner to see all the tabs available. I can directly jump to the tab. For example, I want to go to MRP1. I can go to MRP1 by clicking here. If immediately I can click on here and I can jump to basic data 1. Okay. And also you can maintain the unit of measure. For example, I can go to the sheet tab called additional data. If I go to additional data and go to unit of measure, here you can maintain a unit of measure. So what that means is, for example, how many pieces, say one carton. So one carton maybe You can search here even. Click on the search button. Carton. That's one CAR. So one carton is equal to, maybe say we have 6 pieces in one carton. Okay, and one pallet is equal to, pallet is PL, maybe equal to, and in one pallet we can put say 30 pieces. Okay, so you can maintain the unit of measure here as well. Okay, and save it. Save it, or you can go back, click on the main data to go back to the main screen, and you're back on the main screen. If you want to go back to the other screen again, go to additional data, click on unit of measure. Okay, go back from here and save it. So that's how you can maintain unit of measure. Okay, so that's how we can create a material. Okay, and because we created the material for, we created a code called notebook 1. Okay, so we created it for plant 1000, right? We use plant 1000. You can check again. Go to MM02. So here we use plant 1000, stored location, sales organization, and distribution channel. So let's try down here. So we use plant 1000, storage location was 0001. Then we had sales org 1000, distribution channel was 10. Okay, we maintained for this one. Okay, so the data that you have created is only valid for that particular sales organization, particular plant and store location. Okay, and we can maintain the data from different levels as well. Okay, that I will show in a minute. I'll show in this slide again. Okay, but before we do that, let me talk about the material type. What is material type? So basically, whenever you create a new material, right, in MM01, you first need to select a material type. What is material type? So material type can be your, as I said before, raw material. It can be your semi-finished good, trading good, finished good. It can be your trading goods. Okay, can be non-stock material, can be anything. So we have different types of raw material here. Okay, so the material type, selecting the material type will also control your number assignment and the field selection, stuff like that. For example, if last time we selected finished good, and you have seen some different screens, okay, where we enter the data. But if you select something else here, something a bit odd here, okay, then you will also see the different screen again. Depending on what you select here, you will see the different screen, and mainly it will also link to your number range. Okay, for example, here in this case, okay, last time we entered a number manually. Okay, if I say I want to create a waste type product and notebook 2, okay, let's press enter. It does allow, but sometimes what will happen is here it may not allow. Okay, it will say, okay, I'm internal number range. That means system will generate a number for you. Like for vendor, system generated a number for us, 100510. So here system can also either generate a number for us, or we can give it a number here, notebook 2, notebook 3. Okay, that is also controlled by material type. So material type has a customizing that will control whether we can give it external number range, which is our own number, or let system generate it. Okay, system will generate a number for you, say 80001234, like that. Okay, so depending on this, you will create different numbers. So let me try another one. I'm not sure what is set up in the customizing. If I remove the number here, okay, I'm creating a raw material, enter 1000. See, it's generated a number for you, 2490. I didn't enter a number. System is automatically generating a number for you. Okay, so I'll say raw material 1. Okay, I will not go to the next tab. I'll just finish it here. Because I didn't enter a number, system generated a number for you. Okay, 2490. At the bottom you can see there's a number for you, 2490. Okay, so I can call that number, go to mm02 2490. If you do not remember the number, you can search by name of the product. So I included raw material 1. I can say, okay, I'm searching for material type what? ROH. Okay, so I'm searching for ROH. And here I can say what is the description of the material. I can say, okay, description is raw material. I'll say raw mat star. There's so many here. That's the one I just created. Raw mat 1. Okay, 2490. Okay, that's the material. So depending on the material type that you select, system will allow or not allow you to use your own number, or it will say, okay, I will only use a system defined number. Okay, and also second thing, it will show you different partner function, everything. Okay, and the other one, which is industry sector. Okay, that means you also need to select this one. Whenever you create a material, you need to select industry type, like it's a beverage, chemical industry, mechanical engineering, pharmaceutical, telecommunication. Depending on this, it will show you the different screen. Okay, system knows that for pharmaceutical company, what type of data we need to maintain. For telecommunication company, what type of data we need to maintain. So depending on this screen, system will show you different screen or different data that you can input when you create a material. Okay, but in our exercise for now, just use mechanical engineering. Then, okay, next we'll talk about extending a material master. Okay, extending a material master. So what I was saying before was, we created a material master here for this plant, this store location, this sales organization, this distribution channel. Okay, for example, you want to create the same material for another plant. Okay, so how do you do that? When that means you're extending the material to different plant or different sales organization. Okay, so what you can do is, for example, we created the material earlier, which is notebook 1. Okay, so if you want to extend it, okay, you need to extend it via transaction mm01 again, not mm02. You need to make sure extend a material. So use this transaction to extend a material. So go to mm01 here, enter the material you want to extend, notebook 1. Okay, press enter. Enter again. There's a warning here, that's fine. And here select your views, tick, and here this time use a different plant. Use a different plant. Say 1000 is already maintained. You can see there's a cross here because 1000 is already maintained. So what we can say is we want to maintain in the plant 1200. Okay, choose that. What store location? Select a store location. Store location can be 001 and maybe a different sales organization. So plant is 012, I guess. And distribution channel, sorry, sales organization and distribution channel, it was 1000 earlier, we'll change it. So we'll say this time we want to maintain in the 1020 and distribution channel 20. Okay, so check that. So material is same. Okay, that's fine. There's some missing customizing. Let me select a different plant. 2000. That's good. Okay, so I selected 1100. So press enter. So it will go through the same screen. You can see it straight away jump to the sales data because the basic data will remain the same. That means the description of the material, the weight of the material, unit of measure of the material, they will remain the same. So that's why we don't need to maintain that again. So it doesn't matter in how many plants or how many sales organization your material is extended to, the basic data will always remain same for all the plants. Okay, so here I will maintain the sales organization data here. Press enter. Press enter. Loading group is missing. Select loading group. Enter. Now you can see here the plant is 1100. So I'm on this plant view. Create the MRP data. Same thing what we did before, but this time we're maintaining it for plant 1100 and same material. Okay, maintain all the mandatory fields. So again, it will go through the different views. Now it's on the costing view and save it. Okay, so we extended the same code to another plant which is 1100. Okay, and another sales organization which is, let me check. If I go to MM02 to display the material, to change the material, enter. Here, when you select the plant, it will ask you to, it will show you two plants. See, it's showing because it's maintaining not two plants. So it's asking you which plant data you want to see. I can say I want to see the second plant data. Choose sales organization. What sales organization you want to see? Because we just extended to another sales organization 1020. I'll say I want to see the new sales organization. So it's extended to 1020. So here you can maintain it's now extended to 1020 as well, and distribution channel 20. Okay, so I can select those views, those plant and those sales organization to display the material, and I can make any changes here. Okay, so that's how you can extend a material. Okay, so again I can extend it to other plant as well. So it is no limit. I can extend to say plant number 2000, also 3000. So same material can be maintained in different plants, different store location, different sales organization, different distribution channel. Okay, using the same transaction. Okay, now we'll see the next slide. Now we have the entry aids for material master. Okay, now I'll talk about some other things, some other stuff related to the material master. So first one we have is setting. Okay, so we have some setting options. So what that is, I'll show you. Whenever you go to transaction MM01, if I go to transaction MM01, you can go to the default, see default industry, and here you can select your default industry. That means every time when you log into the SAP system, this will be your default industry. Okay, so mechanical engineering, I will choose that, tick. And also you can make view, see view, what is a view you want to see. So these are my default view. Okay, so what you will see like this, you will see everything not selected. Okay, so select the views that you want to make default every time. You don't need to select it. So select basic data, sales data, the same thing we selected before, purchasing, MRP 1, 2, 3, 4. Select also work scheduling and accounting and costing. Okay, once you're done, say continue. Okay, so that's my default view. Next time you will have this view by default. Okay, and then organization level, select the third one, organization level. That means by default what plant you want to maintain as default. I can say, okay, my default plant will be, at the moment you can see, so because what I did is I created an industry, mechanical engineering as a default, I created a view as a default. So next time, whenever you create this, go to MM01, mechanical engineering will be the default for you, press enter. These will be selected automatically for you, these view, okay, because I created them default, these view, I created them default here, view, I created them default here. That's why you can see them here automatically selected. So it will save your time. Every time you don't need to select each of them. Okay. Then last one is organization level. Okay, for example, at the moment when I go to enter, here this is blank. I can have a default plant, default store location, default sales organization, default distribution channel. So go to default org level. Okay, so I'll say my default plant will be 1000. My default plant will be 00, store location will be 001. Sales organization will be 1000. Distribution channel will be 10. So just make this one as default. Okay. Also make the copy from default as well. I'll come back to copy from in a minute. Okay, so this is your default. That means every time when you go to MM01 or MM02, press enter, system will have your default plant, store location, sales organization and all that. Okay, why? Because we have maintained that here in the org level. We have maintained that in the org level. Okay, and then next we have is reference material. So reference material means you can copy a material from another material. Like earlier I shown you how you can copy a vendor. So same way we can copy a material. So when you copy a material, it will save your time. Okay, for example, I can say I want to create a new notebook called notebook 3. Okay, and I want to copy from notebook 1. Okay, so copy from here this one to new material number this. Okay, press enter. So you can see default view, press enter. So you can see here default plant view and copy from view is also here. So copy from view is also coming from default org level here. So whatever is maintained here and here, it will be shown in the copy. Enter. So you can see copy. So it will save my time. Okay, enter again. So system copied everything here. So I can change whatever you want to change. I can say, okay, this is a 15-inch laptop. Okay, and everything is copied. You just need to make sure you can see weight, everything is copied. Press enter. You just need to go through the different screen. Make sure you go through a different screen, otherwise those screen will not be saved. Okay, enter, and whatever you want to change, you can change here if you want. Okay, if you want to change something while going to through the different screen, you can change. Okay. I'm creating a raw material. So last time I created a finished good. On the top you can see I'm creating a raw material. Enter, and save. So because I copied from the other material, it was very quick. I don't need to do the entries again and again. Okay, so that's a time saving. Then we talk about a thing called profiles. Okay, what is profile? Okay, so if you remember, whenever you create a, so let me create a material number 4. Okay, basically this is used for MRP view. See MRP view. In MRP view, there are a lot of mandatory fields and there are important fields as well. Like I need to maintain the MRP view, say MRP type is PD, MRP controller is this, lot size is this, like that. Okay, so we have three areas: MRP1, MRP2, MRP3, MRP4. Okay, so if in my company, if we using most commonly the same MRP data, then I can create a profile for MRP that I can use when I'm creating a material. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. That means a default data for the MRP view. Okay, to do that, you can go to a transition MMD1, or you can use the menu path here. Material master. Here, profile. MRP profile, MMD1, or you can type here MMD1, MMD1. Enter. So give it a profile name that you want to create. I'll call it, start with Z or Y. I'll say Z. I'll put my initial GS. I'm creating a ZGS profile. Press enter. So here, give it a name. I'll say MRP profile. I'll put my initial here. Okay, to make it separate from others. So you can make, you can give it a fixed value, or you can make a default value. Fixed value means you can give it a fixed value, that means it cannot be changed, or default value means system will propose a default value that can be changed. So let us use the default value. Okay, I want to create a default value for MRP type, and also I want to create a default value for, say, planned delivery time, say this one, check that, and lot size, and say safety stock. So whatever fields are available in MRP, I can select them here, reorder point, like that. Okay, so that's just selected a couple of them. You can select more. Okay, once you are done, click on data screen 1 on the top, and here the views that I have selected in the previous screen, they will appear here. Okay, whatever you have ticked, they will appear here only. So I have selected the MRP type last time. I'll say okay, default value for MRP type should be, I can select a value here, say PD. Planned delivery time will be, say, how many days? 5 days. Safety stock, how much you want to create a safety stock, say 100 pieces. Reorder point, when you want to reorder for the material, I'll say when there will be 20, and lot size will be, say, monthly lot size. Okay, we'll study the detail about the lot size later on. Go to the next screen, data screen 2. Okay, there's some error, I guess. I need to select a different MRP type for now. Let me select a different one, say P1. Let me go back. Let me start again. There's some issue. So GS, enter, name, MRP type, ABC indicator, delivery time default, and lot size. I'll just select these for now, or in-house production time. Okay, data screen 1. So these fields I've selected, you will only see these fields here. MRP type will be standard, we use PD. Delivery time, how many times it will take for delivery, I'll say 10. For in-house production time, it will say 5 days. Go to data screen 2. ABC indicator, It's another field in the material master. I want to use A by default. Okay, once you're done, save it. So I created ZGS profile. So how we can use it? When you create a new material, MM01, say I'm creating notebook 5. Enter, enter. So here in the screen here in the MRP profile, select the profile, the MRP profile that you want to copy from. So I created ZGS, select ZGS. That means all the attributes that you have created in ZGS will be copied here. Check. So notebook, give it a name. And if I straight away jump to MRP data, MRP view, you can see it's speedy. How come it's speedy? If I go to the next one, I need to enter MRP controller. Here this is 5, this is 10. Why? Because this is what we have maintained in the MRP profile. Okay, so if I open the MRP profile using MMD2, MMD1 is to create, MMD2 is to change. So here if I go to data screen 1, so you can say this is 5, this is 10. Here you can say this is 5, this is 10. So you can have the default value for any of these fields that you can see here. Okay, so that's also time saving. What we call it entry aids. Next we have is collective entry for storage location. So what is that? Whenever you create a material, or if I show the existing material, so this material is contained in plant 1000 and storage location 0001. Okay, so what is storage location? If you remember in the previous screen I've shown you, again I will talk about this in the customizing again, but storage location is assigned under a plant. A plant can have storage location 1, same plant can have storage location 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. Okay, so one plant can have more than one storage location. And if this material is to be maintained in different storage location, what we need to do is to, for example, I want to create the same material in storage location 2. Okay, so I need to go to again MM01. That means I'm extending the material. So notebook 1, enter, enter, but this time here use a different one. I'll say I want to extend it to 2. Okay, or 3 or 4, whatever. Okay, so 1000 is not linked to 2, so maybe I need to check another one. Let's scroll down to 1000. Okay, 1002. Okay, and I need to tick, and it will go to the store location view, and I need to maintain all the MRP views and everything. Okay, but we have a shortcut. Okay, we have a shortcut here. We have a transaction called MMSC. Okay, this is to only extend storage location of a material. Okay, so it is very quick. If I go to MMSC and here enter material number and plant is 1000, enter, just enter the storage location that you want to extend it to. Okay, so here I'll say I want to extend it to 0002. Okay, and you can enter more here, 03, 4, 5, 6 like that. Okay, and here you can also enter the parameters for the MRP, reorder point, fixed lot size, but for now just leave it, just enter this one and save it. Done. It's very quick. Okay, otherwise how should we should be doing it? By MM01, enter your product here, and you can say this is very time consuming, and enter here 2, and then press enter and maintain the view. Okay, now if you open this existing material, So here you will see there should be two storage locations. See, this is the same material is maintained in 1000 and 1000 because I extended to 002 using MMSC transaction. So using this transaction, in a second you can extend the material to different storage location. Okay, just for the storage location only when you want to extend it. And next we have is mass maintenance. Okay, mass maintenance. That means, for example, you want to change a field in a lot of material altogether. Okay, so that means, for example, say in MRP, you want to say in MRP view, you want to change MRP type from PD to something else, or you want to add, you want to change the planned delivery time, which is 10 days, you want to make it to 15 days, but not for one material. I can change it right now here. I can say 15, done, save. Okay, but for example, if you want to do it for hundreds of material, okay, so how do you do that? Maybe thousands of material, how do you do that? Okay, so that's where we have a mass transaction. Okay, so the thing is, you want to change a value in a material master, okay, for a lot of product, and the value change should be the same. Say for all materials you want to change it to 15, from 10 to 15. Okay, if I got 1000 material to change, what I'll do, I'll open the material, I'll change it to 15 and save it. Open the second material, change it, save it. Third material. So if you have 1000 material, you can see how many days we need to take to make the changes for the 1000 material. So for that we have a transaction called mass, okay, which is mass maintenance. Okay, mass, if you go to mass transaction, I'll show you how to do it. Mass, so enter the mass is the transaction code mass. Here select the object, for example, select material, here material, execute, select what field you want to change. You want to change the plan data, general data, description, whatever. Okay, so select also plan data in the case of MRP view, which is a plan data. Execute that, and here enter your material. You can enter a lot of material here. Okay, so for example, I can say, okay, all the material with notebook star. That means all the materials who has the name notebook 1 2 3 4 5 6 everything. Or I can say range notebook 1 to notebook say 1000, whatever. You can enter range here as well. Okay, or I can say here 5, up to 5. Okay, you can select a plan for which you want to change, so say 1000 number plan only. Okay, so once you have selected the range, you can also set the range from by clicking on this button. You can, for example, you can copy and paste the data from Excel file. For example, in the Excel file you have, say you have a big Excel file. I have say notebook 1, notebook 2 3 4 5, so I'll change it. Okay, so say you have 1000 material, you can copy the 1000 material from here, and here click on this icon on the corner, and after copying, click on this little button, the second last button, to paste it here. So you can notice it's doing the pasting. See, it will paste it here. So you can paste a lot of material here. You can exclude a material, you can exclude a range like that. Okay, so I'll execute that, and in the next screen click on this little button on the corner, select fields, and here you can select what field you want to change. Okay, for example, I can say, okay, I want to change planned delivery time, right? So they are in the alphabetical orders. Look for P, planned delivery time, So okay, sorry, let me show you this step. So once you found your field, so that's a field, right? So move it to left by clicking on this little button. Okay, so click on this button, that if field you want to change, it will move to left and say continue. See this tick box, that field is here. So for example, it's only selecting two materials because in that range there are only two materials. We do not have 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 4, 5, sorry. And here, for example, you want to, so you can assume that you have 1000 material here, okay, and you want to change it to 20. So planned delivery time you want to change it to 20. So select 20 here, enter 20 here, and select the column here, and click on this little button to carry out the mass change. Okay, once you select this one, you can see it will change them to 20. Even if you have here you have only two materials, but even if you have 1000 materials here, it will change them to all of them to 20. And once you have done, you can save it. Okay, so one material or 1000 material, it will be done, see, quickly. So it will just take a couple of seconds depending on how material you're trying to save, and they will be saved to 20. Okay, I'll show you one more example. Say if I say ABC star, I got a lot of material with the name ABC star. See, we have a lot of material. So it will remember the last setting. I can say I want to change it to 25. Select the column, click on this apply button, and you can say some are 5, some are blank, some are 12. When you apply, they all will be changed to 25, and click on save button. So that's quick. See, done. There's some error for some of the material because I know that was the material. They have not those views maintained. So just ignore that, but all the green lights saying they are done. Okay, so it just take a couple of seconds. Otherwise, we need to do it manually. Okay, so that's your different entry aids when you create a material master. So that's all for the material master. Now assignment for the material master. So just create this assignment for practice on the server. First of all, create a new material master record using the transaction MM01, and use the same material and industry type, plant, sales organization that I'm using in the training here. Okay, 1010 distribution channel, 001 storage location, like that. Then search for the above created material using the transaction MM02 and observe the different tabs and the type of data that can be stored in those tabs. Okay, just observe that. Also maintain the unit of measure. Okay, I want you to maintain the unit of measure. 1 carton is equal to 4 each. Okay, or whatever unit of measure. So suppose you have used each as a unit of measure for your material at number 1. So just use each here as a unit of measure, and here you just need to use create a unit of measure where 1 carton is equal to 4 pieces or 4 each, and 1 pallet is equal to 16 carton. Okay, maintain that, and also try to create a MRP profile. Okay, in MMD1, and test this profile when you try to create a new material. Okay, so just see how we can create this profile, and also try to extend the storage location of your material using the transaction MMSC like I did before. Okay, so that's exercise for you. If you go through this exercise, you will feel confident about the material master. Okay, so exercises are very important, and I want you to do all the exercise first, all the assignment first, before you move on to the next part. So that's all about the training for today for material master, and thank you very much for watching this video. So I'll see you in the next video class.